Donald Trump, again, he announced that federal workers are going to go back to the office because they work for you. Everyone watching us at home tonight, they work for you. Those federal workers, you pay their salaries.
That's Trump's deputy chief of staff, Stephen Miller, bringing down the hard hammer on the Democrats. Immigration. He's going to prove that the Democrats are probably committing conspiracy. That includes Gavin Newsom in California, meaning this is good news. Welcome to John Mike Keene. Don't forget to subscribe.
They need to show up at an office. And again, Donald Trump's going to rip up those agreements that allows those workers to work from home, although we all know what the federal workers are really doing is just absolutely nothing at best. At worst, they're working against you and your family and your security. And he's going to say that you have to get back into the office. And he's also going to say that workers who've betrayed the trust of the American people are going to be fired. And in cases where they violated the rights and liberties of the American people, they're going to face accountability. They are going to face justice. We are going to restore representative government and democracy in this country. And it's going to be a beautiful thing because Americans want control of their country again. And by voting for Donald Trump in this historic landslide, by giving him this historic mandate, the popular vote, the electoral college vote, by a vast margin, winning almost every demographic in this country. What they voted for is for Donald Trump to come into office, to open up an American energy, to defeat inflation, to eradicate criminal cartels, to seal the border shut, to send the criminal aliens home, to make government accountable to the people again, to get so-called DEI and racism out of government, to get the economy going, and to keep jobs here in this country by finally stopping the outsourcing and offshoring of American wealth. And all of those things are going to happen, and there's nothing in the world the angry, crazy Marxist radical left can do to stop it.
Democrats are going to cry. They're going to cry really hard on January 20th because Trump has described the amount of firings and the amount of presidential orders he's going to do on day one. He described it as shock and awe. Are you ready for this?
Sanctuary mayors and governors got some really terrible news this week. Stephen Miller, who's slated to be Donald Trump's deputy chief of staff, sent letters to 249 elected officials in sanctuary states and cities, warning them of how much trouble they're going to get in if they don't start complying with the law and rounding up the immigrants, the illegal immigrants.
He's already sent out the letters. Stephen Miller has. Over 240 to sanctuary cities saying that is going to end, that you're committing a crime, not just any crime, a crime of conspiracy.
The federal government has ultimate authority over immigration. We already knew that, but the psychos in the White House have decided not to enforce federal law, which is why we're in the mess we're in. So all these resolutions and all the laws that they're passing about being sanctuary, they're garbage. They mean nothing. Federal law prohibits interfering with Department of Homeland Security and state or local officials' communications on immigration status. So when ICE puts out a detainer saying, we want you to turn this person over to us because we know they're in your custody, and they ignore those detainers, or then they won't communicate with ICE, you know what? That's illegal. To conceal, harbor, or shield aliens is a federal crime.
They've committed federal crimes. Eric Adams has already talked about this, wanting to have access to a federal prison to remove these criminal illegal aliens. And as a sanctuary city, they denied him access. We have had basically a government working against our own government, the two sides. And you have liberal cities trying to protect and harbor dangerous illegals.
Because sanctuary jurisdictions laws usually require multiple officials to coordinate their activities, all officials involved are liable under multiple federal criminal conspiracy statutes. Therefore, employees working for an official implementing sanctuary policies may be at risk, even if they do not directly conceal, harbor, or shield an alien.
Conspiracies, that's a RICO charge. Isn't it ironic? They tried to put Trump up on RICO charges with Fani Willis in Atlanta, Georgia. And in the end, everyone who's performing in these cities, because they're having to be groups, they have to work in conjunction with each other. That becomes federal conspiracy. Get ready for RICO charges against all these people, including Gavin Newsom, who might end up in jail if we're lucky. I'm John Mike Keene.